Hi, it's Jim Smith. This is the 1000, part 4 of our Canadian 2015 election issues for the gun owner. One of the things we get really wrapped on is we're single issue, you can put your air quotes around that, voters. And first off, I first ran across this by a Liberal cabinet minister and later Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia, Iona Campagnolo, after I had run against Jack Horner for the Liberal nomination in Crowfoot. I went to a big Liberal do, and she pretty well took about 10 minutes to slam me for, not by name of course, that would be too good for words, for being a single issue voter. Well, the firearms issue is not a single issue thing. It's a cluster of issues. We are a private property rights organization. One of the real unwritten facts of our movement is one of the things that government bureaucrats, the same government bureaucrats that want to take your guns away from you, want to be able to take all your property away from you. And in fact, under the Canadian system, and by and large the American system, and the British system for sure, and I'm sure the Australian and New Zealand system, you don't own anything. You're titled it or granted it by the Crown, who can take it back away from you and may or may not give you any compensation for it. And compensation derived by some government bureaucrat is a pretty thin gruel when you lose your possessions and your property. Of course, as the Prime Minister said, there is the issue of defense, which is big. There is also the issue of a balance between the powers of the citizen and the powers of the government. What Iona Campagnolo was telling me was I was supposed to vote once every 4 years and then shut the hell up, to put it bluntly. And interestingly enough, Anne McClellan, when she was Justice Minister, also basically at a public meeting in near Edmonton said exactly the same thing. It was reported by a number of our supporters who were there. And yes, although this is a new organization, trust me, the 1000's got supporters who have been doing this for a long, long time. And that's what they see democracy is. We're not supposed to participate, we're not supposed to be active, and we're not supposed to take our issue and make it part of the public debate. There are many other single issue people out there. There's people that are on both sides of the abortion issue. There's people on both sides of the capital punishment issue. And they carry their debate forward. They have their demonstrations and stuff like that. But it seems that the gun control one is particularly poisonous because we seem to not have anything else. But of course, every gun person I know that's likely to be watching this video and going, yeah, I understand what you're saying, Jim, is a very concerned citizen who has many aspects of their life in their society that they are concerned about. They tend to be good citizens. They tend to be very concerned about how law and order is operated in this thing. And ironically, as we will document over time, as the police departments have become more and more alienated from us, we are, without a doubt, the most law and order group of people, sociologically, that I've ever met. And believe me, I've talked to a lot of different people over the last 50 years, and we're it. So why would they go after their biggest fans, their biggest friends, and their biggest assistants should something really seriously go wrong? It's a mystery. It's a mystery we will examine, but in the meantime, yeah, if I have to be a single issue voter, I'm a single issue voter, but there's a lot of different aspects to that thing, and as we go through this whole episode, we'll be talking about that. So if somebody says you're a single issue voter, and they ask them what their issues are, you'll find they also are in a cluster, depending on the political orientation of that person, whether they are a small C conservative, a big C conservative, a small L liberal, big L liberal, small C socialist. They will have different issues, but they tend to form a cluster, and you can mold that cluster into a single gestalt, a single ideology, which is what we call that, fairly easily. And we tend to have that same ability to have a gestalt or an ideology that we support. And it's a legitimate political position that we have no reason to apologize for. So I don't apologize. I recommend you don't apologize either. Thank you. Well, that's today's little talk. Thanks for dropping by. I hope you'll subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends, and if you can support us, if you can see your way clear to support our project, to support our history, please feel free to do so. We exist totally on your support.